Meet the Duprees. They're the ones that run things behind the gates of their private community. The core four of the family are Father Vernon, his wife Anita, and their two daughters Nicole and Danny. Let's start with Nicole, or Dr. Nicole to you, whose life seems to be so perfect. She and her husband Ted, who's also a doctor, has 3 children, Martin and Catherine, and also Ted's nephew Andre, whom they've raised. Oh, but then there's Danny, who married Bill, and they had 2 daughters, Naomi and Chelsea. And after 30 years, their daughter Naomi moved her best friend Haley into the house, and she stole her man. And now they're getting married, and Danny's not happy about none of that. But how could she be? Listen, Dupree family, you've got our attention, and we're back again today to get the tea, and I'm here to pour it. Because we all want to know what happened today beyond the gates. I had muted my mic. Welcome back, gatekeepers, and happy almost Friday to everybody. We ain't gonna treat Thursday like it ain't nothing, but y'all know it's just the day we waiting on to make it Friday. So, but baby, they kind of cooked today. I thought they did. Behind the gates, they was serving up crumpets and tea and everything. So you know how we got to kick it off. Let's do it.
Gatekeepers, get in here. The tea was hot. Get in here. The tea was hot. Open up the gates and get in here. Gatekeepers, get in here. What?
Yes, the tea was simmering today. It was simmering today. And they had the good little crumpet cookies to serve today too. So I was ready. I know y'all was ready. Hey, first, be sure to like the video for me. Those of you who are listening now and those who are listening later, go on and hit that like button for me. And while you're at it, if you haven't subscribed yet, come on over here. You know you love me. Go on and commit to this thing and come on over here to regular, okay? I want you guys to also remember that tomorrow on Friday, we will be live in the evening sometime between 7:30 and 8:30, and I'll post that up early enough for you guys to get the notification. So make sure your notifications are on. And we'll have our live panel discussion where you get to come up and do a little gossiping about these doggone Duprees, because I know y'all like to talk about it. I know you do. Y'all don't want to just hear me talk all the time. So we'll do the review. I might make it a shorter review, just hit the highs so that we can get on to the conversation, because it's all about you all on Friday nights, okay? So be sure to come back for that. We are cameras off over here when we get together on Friday, so you ain't got to worry about how you're looking or none of that. But you ain't got to be shy about coming up and sharing some of your opinions. And also, remember to have your one word ready. It's just one word now to describe Leslie. We're going to have the one word to describe Leslie, okay? And get some laughs off of that. So be creative with it. Be a little creative with it and all of that. Let me check out who's down here in the comments before we kick off getting into these doggone Dupree's business. Y'all just love to gossip, I declare. Okay, Dee Dee says, just jumping on to say hi. I'm going to start putting these back up on the stage, even though they made it harder to do that. Okay, just jumping on to say hi. Hey, gatekeepers. I won't be able to chat today, but I'll be listening. All right, Dee Dee, we got you, girl. But thank you for coming on over here to listen in. We also have Miss B says, I'm ready. And hello to the chat. Hello to you too. Okay. Tony Lynn says, good afternoon, gatekeepers. Good afternoon, Miss Jen. Wishing and hoping you all having a marvelous day today. Thank you, Tony. Tony is always giving such a beautiful salutation to us all. Even though we over here being messy with all this gossip and whatnot, he keeps the place classy. Okay. Not that the rest of you know, but Tony keeps it classy over here for us, in the midst of all this messiness. KB Mommy, hey, KB Mommy is in the house. She says, hey, 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 Miss Jen and fellow gatekeepers, I'll be in the bushes for a few, then I can chat. All right, girl, we hold it down until then. Let's see who else we got down here. Elaine Thompson says, hey, gatekeepers, the tea was hot today. Loving my mommy and Anita Bear. Oh, yes, yes, honey. She stood up for her baby today, did she not? She was like, if you don't get down, uh, let's see. There's so many more steps to putting up the comments, but I don't mind, y'all. Okay, Tony Lynn says, hello, Miss B. You're very welcome. Thanks a lot. Okay, and then Destiny H. Hey, Destiny says, hello, everyone. And hello to you too, Destiny. And thank you too for coming on back through here and checking in and hanging with the gatekeepers. All right, y'all. I didn't pull no pictures today. I did not, because you know Thursday is my crazy day, so I don't have a chance to pull no pictures on Thursday. But I got the tea. That's all that matter. Y'all got to use your imagination. Okay. All right. So let me move this out of the way and get on to talking about these doggone Duprees. So Smitty and Martin, down to the boring house of Smitty and Martin. Samantha is telling her dad that she's found her passion, and that's modeling, and she wants him to know that she's ready and will still make education a priority. Because I told y'all Martin was going to be a problem with this. You can worry about your education. Okay, so not that that's not important, but I mean, maybe what she want to do don't involve that, and then what you gonna do then? Because she said she was gonna do both. Leave the girl alone. But Tyrell told his dad, well, oh, I'm sorry, upstairs, because she was downstairs talking to Smitty. Okay, so she was telling him that she would end up, she will make her education a priority. Meanwhile, upstairs, Tyrell was trying to talk to his daddy about his problem, but his dad is so busy worrying about what's going on with Samantha, he just skipped right over. So the boy was like, forget it then. Let's talk about Samantha then. I was trying to tell you something, but okay, you want to talk about that? Then let's talk about that. Okay. So he wants to know what's going on with your sister downstairs, because I know something going on. Y'all doing this divide and conquer thing, and I want to know what's going on. So Martin thinks that Samantha. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I looked away and looked back at the wrong thing. Give me 1 second. So Smitty doesn't like the divide and conquer strategy either, but she begs him to help her convince Martin into letting her model, and that her doing this means a lot to her. And he said, it means a lot of travel, though, and who's going to accompany you? Because girl, Smitty just got back to his job, and your daddy ain't going. Martin ain't going. Smitty gonna have to go. If Smitty wants to work, girl, and he don't want to be your manager, he don't want to do all that. Okay, I know that's what it is, Smitty. You ain't want to come out and say that, but what about me? I finally got to be free, So I mean, he just, Smitty looking like, oh Lord. But anyhow, they continue on talking, and like I said, she was trying to beg him to convince Martin to, let her do what she wants to do. And when Martin comes back in there, he's like, I want the details of what y'all talking about. What's going on? He's so mean. That's why ain't nobody happy down. That's why we don't like to come over here to visit to y'all house, Mark, because you always starting something. You can't just let the house be happy, can you? Just a Debbie Downer. Samantha is pushing the idea of having her own money and even paying for college. And Martin is like, we don't need no money from you, little girl. We got money to pay for college, little girl. You don't need to pay for that. So what else you got? Because we ain't modeling for that. Okay. And she was like, oh. So finally, she's trying to reason with him like, I just want to, forge my own future. And he's like, I'm not letting you throw your future away over no childish whim. And she said, well, you know what? I'm going to do it with you or without you. And she got up and walked out. Baby, the gauntlet has been thrown down. But y'all still boring over there at that house, okay? I don't care, gauntlet or no. I mean, it was a moment, but, it wasn't enough. We still own you. We still don't want it. We still don't want it. Tyrell and Samantha are upstairs and they're talking, and he doesn't understand why she wants to model either. But he's like, but I support you, but I don't get it. And he says, you want to be famous, but I just want to disappear. Now, Martin, I mean, not what's this boy named Tyrell? Not Tyrell. Don't start talking like that. You just want to disappear. What this mean? You about to run away? You already don't hardly get no camera time over here on the show. You better tell them not to write that in the script. We already don't really like hearing from y'all over here, so don't go off and we forget about your son. You better fight. You better fight, cause y'all ain't checking for him either. You know you're not. Y'all, y'all something else. Okay, so Smitty tells Martin that he should let her model, maybe locally, where they can monitor things. But Martin thinks she will go all the way with this thing. And he ain't really checking for it. He's like, and she gonna start falling off on her studies, and I ain't checking for all that. So Martin thinks about Martin told him that he'll think about it, right? And then he gets on the phone and calls somebody and says, I need to talk to you once Smitty walked out of there. See, Smitty just asked you what was your real thoughts about this girl Molly, and you told her you told him you ain't really have no thoughts. And then as soon as he out the room, you call somebody to talk about it. That's the problem now, Martin. You do Smitty like this all the time. Smitty trying to talk to you, and you over here talking to other people. That's what you do. You get on my nerve with that. All right, y'all. So then, oh wait, before I move to the Duprees, let me see what y'all talking about. Because you know this is all our show. We all got to talk about it. Okay. Tony said, okay, wait. Destiny. Oh, wait. So nobody said anything since then? Let me just make sure, because the way they got these comments now, y'all. Okay. All right. Nobody has said anything. And also, let me put a little color on the screen because I hate it when it is this way. Okay. So with the Duprees showed up today. Oh my goodness. They showed up today. They did. Anita is showing Vernon pictures of Samantha from the show, and they think that the ending of Chelsea's career was beautifully done. And she and Vernon are glad that the fashion show kept Danny busy because she made a lot of money for Gen First, the name of that organization, Gen First, um, that helps kids go to college, the first generation of their family to go to college. And they're like, hopefully she can stay on that path and stay busy, and finally stop being paying bills so much attention. Girl, you know it ain't gonna happen like that, but y'all can try. You can try. Let me check these comments again so I see them popping up. Tony Lynn says, you are so right, Miss Jen. Smitty, Martin, and the kids are as exciting as watching paint dry in the rain. Watching paint dry in the rain, just a pointless situation. They gonna have to step it up over at this house because I'm telling you, it just seemed like it's just boring over there. Oh Lord. Okay. Why do people always try to call me when I'm online? Okay, I'm gonna have to decline that a second time. Okay, so Tony says, thanks so much, Elaine. You're so right. All right. So let me go back up here. Hold on, y'all. Bill. Bill is at home. Oh my God. Bill is at home in his office, and he is talking with Haley, and he says, "Why don't we go to lunch?" And she's like, "Yeah, let's go to this place." He said, "No, let's go to the country club." She's like, "No, I don't like the way they treat me around there. They don't treat me right over there. I don't really like the way they be treating me like that." And he says, "Well, we gonna go down there, and I'm gonna make sure you get the respect that you deserve." That's right. You better stand up for your wife. Danny is at the country club herself, and she's waiting on someone um, for whom was connected to the fashion show, which was this lady from Gen First, right? Why they name this lady Hannah? We already got a Hannah. Y'all trying to confuse us, huh? Y'all could have gave her another name, Priscilla, Patricia, Susie, anything, but because we don't want to be confused, okay? So Danny is at the country club waiting on this lady, Hannah. And the lady comes in there and she just gets right to the business. Cause I mean, she didn't even just pause. Like she didn't even really breathe. Like have a crumpet first, sis. Before you come in here spreading all this bad news. But we was leaned in though, because we was here for it. Y'all know y'all so nosy. Oh my goodness. You just love to gossip. But anyway, this what happened, right? She came in there and sat down at that table, right? And then she told her, she said, uh, she said, you are no longer on the board of directors. She's like, sorry, I'm late. Listen, I have to let you know that you are no longer on the board of directors. And Danny was looking at her like, what, baby? Danny was shook. And I was too. I had to grab my imaginary pearls. Did. And she says, is this the fun? Wait a minute. Hold on, because I don't want to get this wrong. Oh, I was asking, was this the fundraiser that her mother was working on too? Like you done came here and took Danny off the board, and you know her mama is raising money right now for y'all. Girl, is you crazy? Okay, so she said, okay, wait a minute. Let me slow down. Let me slow down. Okay, because I had questions I had written down, like, does her mama know this is going on? Do they know they pulling this back? Like I was just I was clutching them pearls, baby. So the lady gets a call and she gets up and she says, I got to take this. So just then, Bill and Haley came walking up in the joint, right in the middle of her getting this bad news while she waiting on this lady to come back from the phone call. And so the waiter sits them down and Haley sees him and she just eyeing them down. Baby, if looks could take somebody out of here, because this ain't no good time. She just got this bad news. What is y'all doing? But writers, we love it. Keep it up, honey. Because y'all owed us this from the other day. Because y'all know that other day was just, it was just. So anyway, the waiter comes over to take Bill's and Haley's order. And then, so he takes Bill order and attempts to walk off. Like, come on now. In real life, that ain't about to happen, especially at no country club. Because at the country club, you know they calling the shots over there about who stay, who go. Sidebar. I'm still waiting on my application to be approved. Have any of you heard back from your applications? Because I want in. I want to listen to things from the other table too, not just from the TV. Don't do me like that. Y'all call somebody down there, speak up for me, okay? And I will speak up for you when I get in. But anyway, he attempted not to take Haley's order and walk off. And Bill was like, hold up, Jim Shoe. You need to take the lady's order. Or in fact, let me be old fashioned and I'll put the order in for her. I'm not understanding why you had to go through all that. I mean, you, like I said, you a member, baby. I'd have got him fired on the spot. Wish you would. Well, when that lady came back to the table, Miss Hannah, not to be confused with Anna, Leslie, Laura, Sherry, Mary, Nurse Curly Bob. Don't confuse her with her. Her name is Hannah. When Hannah came back to the table, she explains to Danny that the vote was unanimous. Oh, girl, she was trying her best to just be nasty with a smile on her face, though. You know, nice tea. She was being nice tea. Well, then, vote was unanimous. Mm, mm, mm. But even though she had done exceptional in her duties, we do have, she was, you did it very exceptional in your duties, but we do have a moral clause. And your recent acts have violated that. Danny, Danny, I was thinking, Danny, please don't get up and clown up here. I know Bill and them sitting across there, and that's getting on your nerve, but don't you get up here and clown in this country club. But Danny held it together. She really did. She really did. Bill is over there, though. Hold on. I want to make sure I ain't missing nothing. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay, um, okay, so Haley is over at the table and Bill wants to play kissy face, right? So Haley is like, "Oh, don't do that because that may not be allowed up in here." And Bill told her, "Don't worry." What is y'all talking about? Y'all be doing everything behind these doors. Why y'all gotta stop act like he can't kiss his own wife down to the country club? It ain't like they was rolling all over the floor. Calm down. Even though I don't really care for Haley though. I like on the show, but y'all know I don't really care for Haley with the stuff she did to Danny. Now I don't like that. The lady told Danny, you know, you have to be a role model, and taking that pow pow out, and possibly having hurt someone or taken someone out. That just wasn't. It was a step too far, Danny. But Danny told her, she said, "You ain't slick." That's what she told her, but in a high tone way. "You're not slick. You got that money out of me first, and then you want to come around here and tell me that I can't be on the board anymore?" Huh. She said, "Okay." Because see, what happened weeks ago. How come y'all didn't take me off the board then? Huh? You ain't fire me then. And that's what's not honorable. Danny, I appreciate you giving her that nice little read like that because she needed that. She did. Because she was wrong. She was wrong as rain at a picnic. When Anita comes down to the club, because Danny done called her mama, she was like, Mama, get down here. I need to talk to you. So Anita came down there, Ms. Dupree had to come down there to that club to meet Danny. She done called her mama. She wanted to know if she knew what was going on. She's like, did you know that they was doing this to me? She was like, wait, now what? Slow down, explain it to me because I don't know nothing about this. Oh, baby, she was leaned in. Her mama was leaned in. She wanted to hear everything because she could not believe what she was hearing. And I could not either. Okay. Well, she said she did not know nothing about it. She told her what Hannah said and did. And Anita knows that they used her too, because that's the first thing she said. She was like, "Oh, so they used you to get that money for that fundraiser first, and then they want to get rid of you." Mama was not happy. Mama was not happy. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Anita pulled out her phone. She said, "Hold on, because I will have you back on that board before the close of business day, honey." But Danny stopped her. She said, "If they don't want me, I don't want them." And her mother said, "You know what? You're right, girl. They don't deserve you." But Mama worked on it later, baby. We'll get there. Well, Haley is happy to witness that Danny got kicked off the board. But I needed y'all to show me how, when, where. Did I miss something? So was they talking that loud that they overheard that? Are they just nosy like that? Are they sitting over at their table sipping tea and eating stuff at the same time, being nosy? Is that what they was doing? Just over there, just all in the business? Is that what was going on? 'Cause Haley's like, "Oh, I'm so glad I got to witness her getting kicked off that board." Oh, she was just as pleased as punch. Then she was like, "You know what, Bill? Now I feel like just kissing you all I want down to the country club." I'm just gonna need Haley to stop celebrating so much. I don't care if Danny did bang bang up that wedding. Y'all made her come to that thing. You stole her husband. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That woman had you under her roof, and you took a man. So I don't feel. I don't. No. 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 Well, Bill and Haley are watching Danny's table like it's Netflix. They over there just chomping popcorn and eating and looking and eating and looking and sipping and looking and carrying on. Can't take their eyes off what's going on over there. And now Martin has come. So that's who he called. Martin had called Danny. I need to talk to you. So he wants to talk to her about Samantha modeling and wants to know what she thinks about it. But back at home, Smitty talks to the kids about Samantha modeling and how hard change is for Martin. And Tyrell said, I think it's not fair to have to tiptoe around dad. And that Martin always wants things to go his way, and he don't think that that's right. Especially when it comes to you, Smitty. Tyrell said, especially when it comes to you. He always putting himself first. Hmm. And Samantha says she don't think he cares about how he hurts other people. I don't think she wrong. Not because he mean, just because he's selfish. Sometimes selfish people just don't be thinking about nobody but themselves. That's why they selfish. Okay. So when Anita gets home, she is mad. She walked up in there and told Vernon what went down. And I mean, y'all got to put capital letters on mad. She was big mad. Put a cape on her. She was super mad, okay? About them firing Danny. She wasn't going for that. And Vernon says they made a mistake, more so of getting on Anita's bad side. He's like, oh, that was bad. But now that they done got on my baby bad side, oh, baby, it's about to be bad. So, what if the other boards kick her off? That's what Anita was saying. She's like, what if the other boards get wind of this and start kicking Anita off, start kicking Danny off those boards? She's like, but I plan to ensure that don't happen. Uh-oh, y'all done activated Mama Dupree. She has been activated. Martin, meanwhile, is worried about the pitfalls of the business of modeling. And Danny said a good manager will help with that. And to remember, he's in the limelight in his job as well. So don't come with she gonna be in the limelight. You in the limelight. True. But you just want to control what this girl does for a living, and that ain't right. And she said, our parents gave you the opportunity to do what you wanted to do, and you need to do the same thing for her. And she helps him to see that Samantha should be allowed to shine bright and go after what she wants. She gave him some good advice. But Martin don't listen to nobody. Y'all know it, don't. Because I thought when he left the table, he was going to go home and tell the girl she could model. Child, Anita called that woman Hannah, not to be confused with Anna Leslie Sherry. She called Hannah over to the house, and Hannah came up in there. And she was all bright and chipper, and she was just, oh, it's so good to see y'all, cause she knows she gets all this money from these Duprees. So she in there just, I don't know what she was thinking. You just fired these people's child. And Anita just got right to the business. She was like, I heard about what you did to my daughter. And she said, well, I figured she might have called you and told you. But it was just because Anita was like, I ain't trying to hear all that. I ain't trying. And she read her down about using Danny. She's like, you used my child. And the lady says, you have to act a certain way to hold these seats on the board. And Anita said, we agree. And that's why we are getting rid of you. Checkmate. Don't mess with her cubs, baby. Don't mess with Mama Dupree's cubs, baby. You done found out the wrong way. You done messed around and found out today, Hannah. Well, when Martin gets home, he tells Samantha that he can't support her. I cannot support you in this modeling thing. And she said, I feel like you let Tyrell do whatever he wants to do. And she says, and maybe that's because I'm a girl that you don't support me. And he says, nah, it's not that. It's just that you want to model. And usually the stuff that Tyrell wants to do is like join the chess club or, take extra studies. And here you are wanting to model. And no, Martin is too doggone controlling. That's just all it is for me. I'm sorry. Well, Martin says it's nothing to do with you being a girl. Tyrell just chooses the right things to do. And he can't allow her to be a model. She leaves. And Smitty comes in and asks if he was. Smitty comes in and Martin asked him, was he being too hard on Samantha? You already know you are. So why ask the question? Can't nobody tell you nothing. Three people already done told you should let the girl model, but you still got to go home and exert your power over the house and tell her what she can't do. Okay. Well, meanwhile, Samantha went upstairs and she called her auntie. No, she called her cousin. That's a cousin, right? Uh, is that a cousin? Whatever. She calls Kat, and she told Kat that her parents said it's a go. They didn't forbid me, so yeah, I can model, and I want you to manage me. Now, Samantha, why you over there lying? See, now everybody in the house got a secret except Smitty, because Smitty's secret done been found out that he had done snuck back to work. Okay. So everybody in the house got a secret. And I guess Smitty might have another one all queued up. But y'all still boring. It was a moment for you, Samantha. But y'all still boring. I need y'all to do something to liven up that house over there, because we don't want it so far. I'm sorry. Well, Anita said that Hannah, wait, let me see that. Okay. Anita said that Hannah just wasn't a role model, right? And all the money is going up in smoke because, no, wait, let me get this right. Anita said Hannah was the one that wasn't the role model, right? And then she told Hannah, she said, and all that money that you've been getting is about to go up in smoke because we are now launching our own new charity to do exactly what yours does. And ours will be bigger and better and more improved. And that lady's like, so you gonna kill off my charity? Vernon said, well, that's too strong a word. Anita turned around. She said, no, it's not. It's perfect. In fact, that's exactly what's gonna happen here. Uh-huh. And you better pray that Danny, because I'm gonna see to it that Danny heads up our charity. And perhaps Danny will give you a job when your charity finally falls. Because I wouldn't be that merciful if it was me. Baby mama clocked in today. Now, see, that's how you do it. You find my baby, I'm gonna start something to knock your little charity out, and you already know the people gonna follow me, cause I'm the Dupree. I am the Dupree. Okay, so you should have did that, lady. You should have thought before you did that. Y'all was over there celebrating. Now all y'all gonna lose your jobs. You about to lose your job. Saying it with me, y'all. We about to lose your job. Say she about to lose her job. Okay. Well, Bill decides to drag himself over to Danny's table to say how sorry he was to overhear that she got kicked off the board of directors. And since you got kicked off the board of directors and you are no longer managing our daughter, I guess you're going to need something to do to fill your lonely days now. So they really came over there to dig at her, which was a nerve. But what really got me is when Haley had the nerve to open her mouth up and said something. She's like, yeah, whether if you believe it or not, I'm sorry too. Because now you will have to feel exactly how I have feel being snubbed. And now you're gonna feel the same thing. People whispering when you walk up in here, just like they do about me. And Danny said, you better get your little bride, because her brain must be broken. Her up in here talking to me like this here. You better get her. And I think you're right, because she already done slapped Haley one time down to the country club. What make you think she won't do it again? But she was fortunate. Danny wasn't in the slapping mood today. Okay. So then the girl said, you and I have something in common now. And Danny told her, she said, you and I don't have nothing in common. You need Bill to be relevant. I am a Dupree. On that alone, honey, I am relevant. I don't need that. But you do. We are not the same. We are not the same. We are not the same. Okay. Honey, she said that this setback is only my setup for my comeback. This setback is my setup for my comeback. Watch my smoke, little girl. And you know that's true. You know Danny ain't about to be taken out like that. Let me get y'all comments down here. Anita says, I'm sorry, Tony says, when Anita go to Mama Pitbull mode, watch out. Oh yeah, because she was not playing today. She was not playing on today. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I missed a whole bunch of stuff up here. Hold on. Uh-oh. Okay, y'all, hold on. I'm scrolling back. I missed some things up here. Okay. Elaine said, Hannah definitely had it in for Dana. I would not be surprised if Bill was behind this, though. I was wondering the same thing. I was, because, you just so happened to be at the lunch and, all of that. So he just might be, because, they likes to hurt each other. Which I wish they would just stop. Elaine says, that was bold and brazen for the staff to ignore Haley in front of Bill. The Duprees have that country club on lock. That's true, but it was still unreal. That's just, that's over the top rude. Like, I wish you would. I'd have snatched him by his apron. You ain't about to do it. You ain't about to do me up in there. Elaine says Danny stood up and yelled at Hannah, and Bill and Haley saw it and was laughing. When did I miss that? I missed that. I don't know what I was doing that I missed that. Now I got to go back and watch it later. Thank you for telling me that, Elaine, because I was trying to figure out how did she know. So I missed the whole section. What was I doing? Okay. Elaine says it's crazy how Hannah did not think there would be backlash from Anita and Vernon. Baby, the way she walked up in there like, how y'all doing? I'm like, girl, I wish you would march up in here like that after you done did that to my child and I got all this money and stuff. But you tried. Elaine says, if Martin is not boring, then he is being cruel, mean, and controlling. And ain't even making that interesting. You could at least take that and make that interesting. I'm sorry. Where are the parts that we are supposed to like about him? I don't know yet. I don't know yet. And he's not a good villain. We just don't like you, sir. It ain't you like you're not like Anna Lord. What's Lord? It's not like you like Leslie Dana. Okay. We can't stand her, but we love her. Okay, you need to work on that because you ain't. Mm-mm. You're not doing a good job. Elaine says, wait a minute, hold on. We already saw that one. Hold on. I hate the way they have this now. Let me remove this from the stage. Is that what I'm supposed to do? Okay. So that's what, okay. So Tony said later on that when Anita goes into pit bull mode, watch out. Very true, because she was not playing. And that's just a little fraction of what we gonna see. And she played that part today, okay? Tony says, Cat is her aunt since Martin is Cat's brother. Thank you, because I got crossed up over here for a second. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, I thought today's show was given. It was given. It was very worthy of our Get In Here song, baby. The tea was hot. I can't wait to see what else happens tomorrow. And it's Friday, too. Ooh, I hope it's good. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. Okay. All right, y'all. We're going to get into these questions. How far will Samantha get in modeling before her parents find out? Huh? Will Danny be glad her mother has put what she's put into motion? Or will she be upset about it? Will Haley visit the Wizard of Oz to get her brains back, since Danny said this one is broken? Will she? Well, we'll have to come back again tomorrow to get together to gossip and find out what's going on behind these gates with these doggone Duprees. Beyond the gates. All right, again, you guys, don't forget that tomorrow that we are live panel in the evening, so I won't be on live at 4:15. We will be live sometime between 7:30 and 8:30 tomorrow. So look out for that and be prepared to come up and talk about the Duprees. I want to hear y'all gossip too. Don't make me a party of one up in here gossiping on my own, okay? And also don't forget to have your one word ready to describe Leslie. Just one. And let's try to make it a little comical so we can get us some laughs here. What one word would you use to describe Leslie's character? Okay. All right, y'all. It's always a ball hanging out with you guys. Don't forget to like this video for me. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. And as always, I do hope that you are having a great day. And if not, there is still some time left. Why not see what you can do to turn it into one anyway? I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye.
How did you get beyond the gates? Be gone.
Tell absolutely no one that I'm the one that let you in behind the gates. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.